reporter for the item. Joining me here are Mark Bettencourt of Peabody, Dan Schena of Saugus, and you guys played in what was kind of a classic game back in 1989. 25 years, does that even seem possible?
Not at all. Well, it was supposed to be a classic game. You guys kind of ruined that.
I guess it depends on which perspective
Right.
you have, right?
Well, it's funny. We had the Peabody Saugus dinner last night at the Prince in Saugus, and we were talking about that. And I mentioned that when I addressed the two teams, was that our junior year we had an amazing game.
Absolutely.
It was the Thanksgiving Day. It had a blizzard. We didn't play on Thanksgiving.
Postponed it.
We ended up playing on Friday. And our junior year, we had a 14-13 game. And the final play, Saugus went for a 2-point conversion to win the game. They scored right at the end of the game.
Right.
And there was several penalties before the final play. So they had the ball like on the nose on the goal line. And Mark Fossey was their quarterback, and he was a phenomenal athlete and went on to play football at BU. And I don't know how, but in the mud, we stuffed it and won the game 14-13. And that was the kind of game I think, at least I was thinking we were going to have our senior years.
Because the year before was, 21-20.
Yes.
We won that one. So went back and forth. They were always head-to-head, just grudge match. just knock each other out.
You know, it's funny talking with different guys about the games that they played in, and it seems like all the memories are very crystal clear. Is that just because of how important those games were to you back then?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think now that I know Dan does some coaching too, but when you become a coach, you really get to see how important it is to the seniors. I know, that 14-13 game our junior year, what it meant to our seniors, my teammates that were seniors, and the feeling that I had my senior year. You don't really take it into perspective, I think, until later on, like years down the road, where you say, "Man, that was a lot of fun," and I don't think I grasped everything that was going on at the time. As much as our senior year game was built up,
right.
To see, my 3 years of coaching at Peabody now, what it means to those seniors, especially the ones that don't go on to play college football. I mean, I know Dan was lucky enough to go play, and I played college baseball. But for the kids that don't go on to play a college sport, that this is really it. That's for those seniors in football, and
absolutely.
It's very emotional.
Yeah.
This year I think we have 18 seniors. I think Saugus has 3.
Right.
And I told our team today at practice, guys, we can't underestimate anybody. You never know what kids are going to do in their last game. I said, if you read the paper on Friday, you're going to be amazed how many teams with 1 or 2 wins beat teams with 5 or 6 wins. Thanksgiving does funny things.
Absolutely. It's usually the best game. Both teams are, you said, that's for the majority of the players, that's the last time. And for everybody, that's the last time you're playing as a team together.
Yeah.
Unless you're lucky enough to go on to the Super Bowl. And of course they won it that year.
What advice would you give to kids this year, for those maybe they're the last time they're playing on an organized team, now that you've had the 25 years of perspective, what would you tell them going into this game?
To enjoy every minute, because it's over too quick. Like you just said, 25 years ago, that's when we played together. My last college game was 20 years ago yesterday. It's amazing that it goes that quick.
A lot of milestones.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
In the blink of an eye.
I think you hit the nail on the head that I can remember play by play some of the things that happened in our game, both the Peabody Saugus game my junior year and my senior year. You can remember like it was yesterday, and you can get on the phone and call one of your teammates that played. I'm sure you could call Ski, one of those guys, and you'd be amazed. It's like it happened yesterday.
Right.
And I try to explain that to the kids that are playing in it now. I says, guys, you're not going to understand it until you've already played in it and it's gone. This is we're counting down the practices here left in your high school career. And like Dan said, I didn't even think of that. The last time you're going to play together with your friends.
That's it.
College is a whole different ball of wax. I mean,
It's a business now.
It is. It's a business. It's a job.
Yeah.
It's a job when you get to the college level. In high school is the last time you really get to thoroughly enjoy your friendships and enjoy your camaraderie and get that feeling in your gut that only the game of football can give you, of what kind of loss you're going to have when that final whistle blows and it's all over.
Yeah.
When you think back to the game your senior year, there was a lot riding on it for both teams, a Super Bowl berth, and just with the rivalry and everything. What was it like going into the game? Were there a lot of butterflies, or the time leading up to it? There was a lot of hype, a lot of attention.
Yeah, they hyped it. Pretty much everyone was thinking it was going to be the game of the day.
Mm-hmm.
We needed a lot of help, points-wise, to make the Super Bowl. But first we had to beat them, and that didn't quite happen. So yeah, I mean, the week coming up, that's all we heard. It was in every paper, it was on every channel that this was going to be the game, and unfortunately, it didn't live up to the hype. But still, I mean, I had a great time.
Yeah, the excitement of that week was like nothing I've ever been a part of. Everybody in the city was talking about it. And it was the talk at every coffee shop in town. All the bar rooms, all the guys that played Peabody football and Saugus football. It's all they talked about, and it was kind of strange because people were trying to get us to say things to hang in their locker room, and they were trying to get them to say things. But the funny part was there were two very good football teams whose leaders really weren't outspoken. Dan was a quiet guy. I mean, most of the guys on our team, they weren't the rah-rah type of players, and people were trying to make us become rah-rah guys. I mean, we basically wanted to go out and just play the game.
That's it.
And it was very, very hyped. I remember Channel 4, Channel 5, Channel 7 putting Mike Lynch putting a microphone in front of me, and I'm kind of looking at him like, it's a high school football game.
Exactly.
I mean, there's a lot at stake, but we're gonna do the best we can, and Saugus can do the best that they can, and whoever deserves to win this game, whoever shows up and plays well will be the one that goes, and the one that doesn't still had a great season. It's not like one loss destroys everything you had done for the 15 weeks leading up to Thanksgiving.
No, exactly.
And I think the final score did reflect that we got the best of them on that day, but it could have easily gone the other way. On any given day, anyone can beat anyone, and that didn't take away from the great season Dan had as a senior. And we went on to play in the Super Bowl and win that, and we had a great experience doing that. But that could have easily gone the other way. It depends on which team showed up that day. We were lucky that the game was at home.
Right.
Had the game been in Saugus, might have been a totally different story. The home field advantage that we had because the game was in Peabody. But there's just a memory of it all. And Dan went to Northeast, I went to BC, and I saw him a few times, post high school as a college kid, and you kind of laugh, like, man, was that a big deal back then?
It was crazy, It was a crazy week.
And when you bumped into each other, was there any trash talking after the fact?
No.
And that's the funny thing. There wasn't really any trash talking before or during the game. We weren't really those type of kids. We were kind of, just hard-nosed, hard-working kids that played football hard and respected your opponents. I mean, they beat some real good teams to get to that point. We had beaten some real good teams to get to that point, and it was just another hard game for us on our schedule.
How much fun is it when you get together with your buddies from those games, just to kind of reminisce and talk about? And
that's great. I still see a lot of the guys from the whole conference that we played that year. That whole conference in the Northeast was a bunch of great teams, and I got to play with a bunch of them in the All-Star games and stuff. And I still talk to a bunch of them from Swampscott and Salem. It's just they're a good group of guys, and we get together. We laugh about everything. I mean, like you said. Every team, you never know. Every day, any team can win. Yeah. I love the memories are great.
And for us, for Peabody back in those days, we were still in the Greater Boston League, so we didn't have those rivals that we have now. Now that we're back playing, the Beverleys and the Marbleheads, and I mean the Salem opening day game was enormous, and the Saugus Thanksgiving game was enormous, but the rest of our games in between weren't really local rivals. They were all, Arlington, Waltham. You had the travel a pretty good distance to play your football games.
Right.
But now with us in the Northeast Conference, we're on different sides right now, but playing the local rivalries again has really changed things. I think for the outlook of at least Peabody's involvement in local football, playing all the local teams again. We played Danvers, huge crowd. We played Beverly, huge crowd. We played Marblehead, we get a huge crowd. I expect a huge crowd on Thanksgiving morning over in Saugus.
Yeah.
Throw the records out, throw the stats out. It's Peabody Saugus on Thanksgiving morning, and that means a lot to a lot of people in both communities.
You said the local involvement or the local rivalry. You said have changed, and you mean just in the terms of the attention that it gets and people coming out to the games.
Yeah, well, we would play back in the GBL. We'd have a game against Cambridge. Mm-hmm. There wouldn't be the crowd that there would be had we been playing Danvers like we did this year.
Right.
Or some of the big local rivalries that are back intact again. Mm-hmm. Peabody, Beverly, we played each other for the first time in a while this year. And those are things that I think have made North Shore football that much more fun to watch. Mm-hmm. To come out to a game and see two local teams, bang heads again.
Right.
And I'm glad that Peabody and Saugus have kept that together. I think we lost it for a couple of years there, but they got it back together again.
Good to see the trophy back out there on Thanksgiving.
And that's what I was going to ask you, both of you, that the rivalry was interrupted for a couple of years. Yeah. What was it like when you didn't have each other to play on Thanksgiving Day?
It wasn't the same. Yeah. It never is. It was bizarre, to say the least. So it was great to see it come back around, and it should have never ended. Yeah. But luckily, it's back on.
I didn't even go to the games of those years.
Really?
That
just
wasn't the same.
I don't even remember who we played. That's just if you're not playing Peabody on Thanksgiving or Winthrop on opening day, those are like you said, the two opening days. That's the two games of the year are the same, and those are the two that start and end the season. Yeah. And they mean the most. It's just. Yeah.
I think Peabody. I think we actually played Malton Catholic the Wednesday night before Thanksgiving. Right. Talk about a buzzkill after all those years of playing on Thanksgiving morning. I wouldn't even think to go to the game.
Yeah,
I'm very glad that they brought that back. And the other end of it now is we're trying to get now that Salem's not in our conference, they're on the other side. We're trying to get that Peabody Salem opening day back again. And, AD Scott Conley and I played against each other in high school. Similar Dan and I. And
the Amtrak.
I saw. And I talked to Scott and I said, "Geez, I'd like to get that Peabody Salem opening day back again, the way we used to do it." And he sounded like he was on board. So
is he athletic director over there?
He's the athletic director over there now. He's done very well for himself and has done a great job with the Salem athletic program as a whole. And I saw him at a youth football game. I says, "Hey, Scott, let's get that rivalry back now that we're not in the same league, and we can play it in a non-league." Game where we can control it and play it opening day, and we'll see if we can make that happen. I think that would be great for Salem. Athletics would be great for us in Peabody too.
So, any predictions for this year?
Well,
I mean, if they couldn't make you do any trash talking 25 years ago, maybe we can try again.
No, just hoping for a good game.
Yeah.
That's all we always hope for. Yeah. And everyone comes out healthy on the end of it. Yeah.
That's the bottom line, and I agree with Dan. We had our nose guard break his leg on the third play of the game last year and spent Thanksgiving in Mass General. So I mean that really puts puts everything in perspective. Right. Win or lose, we all want to go home and have Thanksgiving dinner with our family.
Absolutely.
Isaac Lopez, our nose guard senior, spent it in the hospital. So sometimes we get caught up in winning and losing. Obviously, I hope we win, and I know Dan hopes Saugus wins. But at the end of the day, it is Thanksgiving and time to be with your family, and go out and play a hard-nosed game. And at the end of when that final whistle blows, whatever the scoreboard says, it says. But it's important that you go home after that and spend the holiday with your family.
Correct.
Well, gentlemen, thanks for being with us.
No,
Mark
thank
Bettencourt, Dan Schena, and good luck on Thursday.
Thank you. Thanks.